Hey, something that has been coming up to me in the last month or so, after having some conversations with people, looking at reels of students and all that, um, it's around the concept of practice. Apparently, I don't know when, how. Um, we've been creating like this kind of culture where um, it's like learning animation or learning any kind of art or learning any kind of craft or whatever. It's just a matter of putting our mind and read and see or get critique, and boom, we already know how to do the things or manage ourselves to do it in a way that is fluid enough, and that's not the truth. Overall in arts, I find myself that we have to practice. Practice is one of the most important things in order to achieve anything that we want to achieve. When all these schools that, online schools that are been around for 15 years, they come up with these kind of programs of 1 year and a half where you just go through all the massive amount of techniques and things to consider in order to deliver a shot. And they give the impression that once that you have done that, you are ready to go, like you can do whatever you want to do. And from my perspective, that's not really the reality of things. I think that in order to really not just be able to do like good animation, but to do it in a way that is personal and in a way that creatively speaking is unique, and you are happy with it, it takes really a lot of time. It really takes like a lot of time and a lot of time to put into practice. And practice, by practice I also mean it as a place of exploration, of trying different things here and there. It's not just to do what the industry wants us to do, or how to fit in those in certain kind of standards, or how to do it just in order to get in a particular studio. No, practicing is also something that you do in order to just for the sake of it, for the sake of doing it, to try new different ideas, to try different techniques. What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? What takes me to the thing of trial and error, of having mistakes. Social media is crazy about memes. We all probably have heard about that in order to succeed in something, you have to fail 1,000 times, no? I don't know if it was something about Thomas Edison that when he invented the bulb, it's not that he succeeded in that, it's that he failed 1,000 times in order to get that, right? So that's somehow a little bit what I mean by we have to allow ourselves in our practices, in our play, in our exploration, to fail. Do not always put yourself into the situation of animate in order to get your shot for real and in order to get your dream job, because that's putting in you a lot of pressure, and not only that, you're not really putting yourself into a situation of exploring, of enjoying the process. You're not letting yourself to fail, and so that means that you're not putting yourself into really making the process of animation making personal, which from my perspective I think at the end is the most important thing, to make your creative process something that is only yours. And as I always say, in these times where competition is so big, everybody knows more or less how to animate more or less good, how to handle a shot more or less good. So these days I have the impression that it's not about when it comes to find a job, it's not about to show that you can make the job or that you can do like cool animation. I think that really these days what's more important is that how you can make it, or how you can show something unique, something different. And that only comes from a practice of exploring the animation in your own way, right? And having fun. Each of us will have a different path to explore animation and to do it in different ways. So practice in a personal way, having fun, exploring different ways, different ideas. Let yourself to fail, and let yourself allow yourself to find yourself within the process of animation through different exercises, different trials and errors. And that will take you to a better spot than just following some certain ABCs, following certain standards, because that probably will take you somewhere else that won't be that nice at the end. But yeah, everything that I wanted to say is mainly practice. Consider the process of animation making, of any art or any craft. It takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes different levels of exploration. So don't rush. Enjoy the process. Practice.